sitting down as we continue our conversations with a bus driver. I'm sitting down with one of our longest driving drivers, Mr. Jim Peterson. Jim, how long have you been driving for M&M now?
After I retired, I would say maybe 20 years.
Oh, 20. That's a long time driving a school bus. And right now you don't have a regular route, if you'll say. You're one of our floaters. You fill in really where you're needed.
It's been that way since I started. I can remember starting 20 years ago and kind of hoping that they'd call me at least once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm here every day.
Every day.
But it's like you said, I don't have a route, but I fill in.
Mm-hmm. And you're one of those drivers. We talked to Jeff Lundquist, who's just a morning driver. You're primarily just an afternoon driver, and you drive a lot of trips for us too.
Yes, that's the morning comes a little early for me. So
there's nothing wrong with that.
I asked them years ago if that was okay, and they said they'll make it work. So it worked.
To make it work. You talked about after you retired. What were you doing before you started driving bus?
Well, maybe I should go back to the beginning, and that's way many years ago. This is back in Cokato. I was raised in Cokato, just down the road here. There are 4 boys in our family, I being the second to the oldest. And after graduating from high school, I guess I moved down with a bunch of friends and knocked around for a couple of years, and then decided that was going nowhere. So went in the service for 3 years, got married, came out, went to college for 4 years, and then was offered a job in Annandale. So I came here in 1970 and raised a family here. First thing we did when we got here, though, we had to get our bus license.
Oh.
Yeah, because the gentleman who hired me, Mr. Howell, superintendent, he was a scoutmaster. And little did I know that within 2 years, I would be the scoutmaster. So we were taking trips out west with the bus. We'd rent a bus from the company. And that was interesting. So anyway, 30 years of teaching then. Then I retired from that. And I went into antiques for a couple of years. Enjoyed that. But that wasn't going to go anywhere. So, and that brings us up to 20 years ago when I started here. Now, I forget the question, Jeremy.
I think it was what did you do? You talked about driving bus after you retired, and that was a great rundown. So, with your experience in education and the Scouts, I mean, working with kids was kind of second nature to you already.
Yeah, I do enjoy them. That's for sure. That's a big part of the job. And you're going to have problems. I don't care what job you're in, if you're clerking in a store once in a while, but 99% of the time is very, very enjoyable.
What are some of the things? I mean, you're retired. I know we're doing this interview. You're trying to get done talking to me so you can go play some cards and have some fun. What keeps you coming back to M&M?
The people, definitely the people. And I mean, the kids are important, but if it weren't for the people who worked at M&M, the drivers, the bosses, let's say, the whole office staff, it's really enjoyable. There's not anything negative at all. So that's why I keep coming back. And once in a while, I'll get to go on a trip with other drivers. I used to do that a lot when I started, but not. But now we'll still go on outings for the day or something. That's very enjoyable because, like you say, I like to play cards, and I always have my cribbage board with me. So we spend a lot of time playing as cribbage.
I don't know how to play cribbage, but I know I've heard the conversations you with a bunch of other drivers. You're talking about it before you even get in the bus that morning to go on the trip. Are you ready? I've got my cribbage board. I've got my deck. And that's one of the nice things about trips. I know I talk a lot about. I get to drive the football team, and I get paid to go to a football game on Friday nights when we're driving the school bus. Like, once you get in the bus and you're going on that trip, I mean, when you get to your destination, you have a fair amount of downtime in a lot of cases. I mean, you got to make sure that you're, where you need to be on scheduled time. But, you have an opportunity, drivers that, will go find places to eat or sit down and play cards, or, I mean, kind of just about anything, as long as you get the kids to and from where they need to go. And
you give that chaperone your cell number and say, I can be here within 10 minutes if you need me again before we head home. So, it works out good.
And really that great social piece. I know even during the summer, you'll pop into the office here and have a cup of coffee and sit around the table, and just a good opportunity to get out and be with people.
Yeah, it really is. And the mechanics are just wonderful. They'll answer all your questions, and even check out your car once in a while. So it's a really pleasant place to be. That's for sure.
I count on them as well. We were just talking about them this morning when our cars have lights that come on. We just walk back there and say, hey, it's doing this. Could you take a peek? And they almost always can sneak us in a little bit. And it's great.
And I always ask for the family discount. I don't know if I get it, but I always ask for that.
I mean, it never hurts to ask. The worst they can say is no, right?
That's exactly right. No, it's really nice.
Well, Jim, if there's somebody that's watching this video that's on the fence thinking, I don't know if school bus driving is for me, what's one piece of advice that you would give them, or one reason why they should come here into the office and check it out?
Well, I guess it's another experience to plug into your life. It's I won't say it's easy. The more experience you have, the easier it is. That's for sure. But if you're willing to try it, they're willing to train you and it's not going to cost you a nickel. If you get to the end of your training and let's say you pass your test and you're ready to go and you're a ride along for a couple of days and say, oh no, I can't do this. That's fine. I've had people that I've known do that here, and that's just, you just got to be willing to, try something new.
You try something new. And that's, I always say to everybody, we did an opportunity to drive a bus around the high school at our open house. Stop on by. I'll set you up in a bus. Let's go take a ride and see how you like it. And like you said, we train you, every training on site, all your behind the wheel, everything. And it's all paid training for you as well. So check it out. Come on in here, stop into M&M in Annandale or Maple Lake, or give us a call. Thank you very much, Jim. Jim Peterson, one of our long-serving drivers.
Thank you very much, Jeremy.